Stranger Things Season 5 Volume 1 opens with a clue so easy to overlook that most viewers never realize it reshapes the entire series. In the flashback to 1983, the moment Will Byers first appears, the air around him bends with the same visual distortion used during Vecna's psychic intrusions. It lasts less than a second, but it suggests something groundbreaking. Will wasn't chosen randomly. He was marked long before anyone understood the upside down, the muted color palette, the slight trembling of objects in the background, and the eerie stillness of the frame hint that this moment wasn't just the beginning of Will's story, but the origin point of a plan decades in the making. As we start uncovering the hidden clues embedded throughout Volume 1, make sure to hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the layers of meaning the show deliberately hides in plain sight. One of the easiest clues to miss appears during the military lockdown of Hawkins, when Dr. K reviews surveillance footage searching for 11. In several clips, background shadows move slightly out of sync with the soldiers' footsteps. That misalignment might seem like a lighting glitch, but it matches the shadow lag pattern used in Season 4 whenever Vecna extended his influence beyond physical space. Fans online have begun connecting this to a simple theory: the upside down isn't expanding outward, it's overlaying. Places aren't being attacked, they're being mirrored. And the proof strengthens when the camera briefly shows a creature undergoing experimentation. Its chest cavity pulses in the same rhythm used during Vecna's hive mind connections, implying controlled communication rather than mindless aggression. The most shocking clue arrives not from monsters, but from Will himself. During a critical moment in Episode 4, Will manifests telekinetic abilities, real, observable powers that no longer fit the explanation of a lingering connection. But what sells this as more than an emotional beat is the sound design. When Will taps into the ability, the ambient noise collapses into the same subfrequency used when 11 channels her power, suggesting their origins may be closer than ever imply. This fuels a theory gaining traction for how Season 5 may end. Will isn't just connected to the upside down, he may be a counterbalance intentionally shaped by it. Before continuing, this is the perfect moment to tell you about the free ebook 50 series to watch before you die, linked in the first pinned comment, ideal for anyone who loves unraveling layered storytelling like this. Another subtle clue emerges during the investigation scenes inside Hawkins' restricted zones. As the group navigates through abandoned corridors, the camera repeatedly lingers on walls coated with a thin crystalline residue. On first viewing, it looks like leftover contamination from previous breaches, but its structure matches the same fractal pattern seen in the tunnels of Season 2. This repetition suggests the upside down is regrowing, not invading, rebuilding a biological blueprint it once imprinted beneath Hawkins. Even more intriguing is how characters react to it. 11 and Will both pause at the residue, sensing something before the scene cuts away. Their mirrored reactions imply a shared sensitivity not yet explained. The residue becomes a breadcrumb pointing to a deeper connection between the upside down and those altered by it. Episode 2 delivers one of the most overlooked visual cues when Holly Wheeler interacts with Mr. Whatsit, the figure later revealed to be an extension of Vecna. During their conversation, the camera subtly shifts focus to the corner of the room where a toy rotates on its own, barely perceptible unless watched frame by frame. The rotation speed mirrors the metronome pattern used when Vecna targets a victim, suggesting Holly wasn't just being observed, she was being synchronized. This supports a growing fan theory that Vecna uses emotional vulnerability as a gateway, choosing children who exhibit fear or confusion to create psychic openings. And since we're deep in the analysis of layered storytelling, don't forget the ebook 50 series to watch before you die, linked in the first pinned comment. It's perfect for viewers who appreciate shows that hide clues in behavior, sound, and framing the way Stranger Things does. Throughout Volume 1, several scenes use reflective surfaces, mirrors, windows, metal fixtures to reveal distorted outlines that don't match the characters on screen. The most striking example occurs when 11 faces her reflection and, for a fraction of a second, her mirrored silhouette lags behind. This visual glitch isn't a stylistic flourish. It is identical to the temporal displacement seen in characters touched by the Mind Flayer in earlier seasons. The implication is simple but powerful. Whatever signal connects 11 to the Upside Down is reactivating, possibly through Will's awakening powers. Sound layering deepens this clue, as faint echoes trail their dialogue, hinting that the Upside Down is listening rather than speaking. To keep up with every hidden detail we're uncovering, tap like and subscribe at the end of this segment so you don't miss the revelations coming next. One of the most revealing moments occurs during the group's search through the quarantined outskirts of Hawkins, where a faint rhythmic pulse vibrates through the ground. The characters describe it as distant machinery, but the vibration matches the same frequency used in the Mind Flayer's communication patterns from Season 3. What makes this clue easy to miss is that it barely affects the environment, only shifting dust and debris in subtle waves. But viewed closely, the pulse always intensifies when Will or 11 enter the frame, suggesting the Upside Down is reacting to their presence rather than initiating its own attack. This supports a theory circulating among fans that the final conflict may not revolve around defeating the Upside Down, but stabilizing a connection that has been intentionally reawakening both of them. Another quietly planted clue emerges during Nancy and Jonathan's investigation scene, where they visit a house believed to be untouched since the first breach. As they enter, the camera passes over a family photo with faces subtly blurred, not by age or damage, but by intentional distortion identical to the smudged faces seen in Vecna's mindscapes. This suggests the Upside Down is not only infiltrating physical spaces, but also rewriting memories tied to those locations. Jonathan's delayed reaction to the photo, staring just long enough to show discomfort, adds weight to the idea that certain characters may already be experiencing fragmented recollections without realizing it. And because the show rarely manipulates props without purpose, the distorted photo becomes a roadmap for understanding how Vecna's influence might spread next. Episode 3 reinforces the expanding threat when Dustin examines a strange pattern etched into the asphalt outside the quarantine zone. The fact that Dustin recognizes part of the pattern from earlier seasons confirms that the Upside Down evolves by recycling its own biological signatures. And when the camera cuts back to the ground, the pattern expands slightly, implying the transformation is active rather than static. This revelation tees up an escalating mystery central to Volume 1. The final and most important hidden clue of Volume 1 emerges during the closing montage, when Will senses a presence that no one else can feel. As the music swells, the camera cuts to a distant shot of Hawkins, where a faint shimmer ripples across the skyline, the same shimmer seen during the first portal tear years ago. But this time, the ripple carries a secondary distortion behind it, resembling the psychic signature 11 produces when overwhelmed. The parallel suggests that Will and 11 are no longer just connected to the Upside Down, they may be mirroring each other as two halves of a larger design. This theory aligns with the season's recurring visual language and sets the stage for a confrontation that may require both to merge strengths rather than fight alone. As we wrap this breakdown, be sure to grab the free ebook 50 series to watch before you die, with the link waiting for you in the pinned comment. And of course, hit like and subscribe to stay with us through every twist still to come.